That's very unprofessional. It's the Rhoyal Lyric Show. What up, everybody? It's the Rhoyal Remix. And today we have a very special guest who I am actually married to. His name is Christian Winkley. Everybody give it up.
Hello.
So today we're going to be talking to Christian because he, one, is my husband. That's number one always. Two, he's also an influencer. And I don't know if he holds himself at this standard of being an influencer. Babe, look at the camera. Don't look down at your hands because you should be proud of this. So fun fact, when I first, Christian was coming around my life as an adult, I got really awkward one day and I was like, I just remember Christian, he has 1 million followers.
Oh, yeah. So we were in church one morning and I walked into the back room where her and her whole family and all her siblings were. And I walked in and she goes, "Hey guys, this is Christian. He has 1 million followers on TikTok." And the reason it was awkward is because I've known all of y'all since high school. And
yeah.
We were 20. We were what, 26, 25?
Yeah. But also the fun thing, let me not put my feet up. The fun thing is that
so cute.
He's an influencer on TikTok, but he also has 1.2 million followers, but his content is about relationships and God, and being a gentleman is always what I throw in there because he's had a lot of videos where he'll be like, "Then this is how you, I don't know, this is how you be a gentleman, and this is how you treat someone like a woman. This is how women should be treated," all that kind of stuff. Do you want to give a little bit of context to what I'm saying is probably incorrect, how I'm describing it?
So basically, after just observation, I had a lot to say about relationships. So I started doing relationship skits, or it started as kind of comedy skits about relationships on TikTok. And then a couple of those blew up. So I was like, oh, maybe I know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So I started giving relationship advice on TikTok, and then those started blowing up. And then as of recent, it's been more spiritual based and Christian based content. So yeah, I mean, it's not as much relationship based content anymore. It's more religious, but
well, I feel like lately you've been posting some marriage content.
A little, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
And that's been blowing up. I mean, so I'm not going to take credit, but
I mean, I highly promote marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get into all that, because I want to know why you highly promote marriage, but not yet. Okay, so we're going to do some this or that. Okay, rapid fire first.
Okay.
All right. Home date
This is a game we're playing?
Yeah, it's a little game, but it's just rapid fire questions just to get you
So I pick
thinking.
this or that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Home date or public date?
Depends how I'm feeling that night.
Rapid fire, first thing that comes to mind.
Home date.
Okay.
Well, no, public date.
Okay. Home cooked meal or restaurant?
Home cooked meal.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I must cook good. Cook well. Sweet or spicy?
Spicy.
Okay. Breakfast for dinner or dinner for breakfast?
Dinner for breakfast.
Okay. Wait, dinner for, soft life or strict discipline? Would you mind the soft life where you're not having to work as hard?
Would I want to live the soft life? Of course I would want to live the soft life. The flesh is of course, duh. But then it's I mean, I got to provide. I got things that I want to be able to spend money on, things of that nature. So.
And I think it takes discipline to get the soft life.
Yeah, I can't. It takes discipline to get the soft life, and also I can't afford to have a soft life right now.
Yeah, but you do a great job. Okay, plan everything or go with the flow.
Plan everything or go with the flow. Wait, what?
Do you like to plan everything?
Go with the flow.
That's for sure. Because, yeah, we have a calendar and he doesn't really look at it that much.
I do.
Okay, so fun question to ask you about that. This might be a sidebar, but when I texted you about that event that was supposed to happen tomorrow, that double date we're supposed to have, did you remember it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Matching outfits or individual style?
Matching outfits.
Okay.
Like for couples?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't want some random wearing my fit. Like I don't want to walk into a bar and see somebody wearing like the shirt.
The same outfit as you.
Like I don't want to see somebody like that.
But a couple.
But me and you, yeah.
Okay.
I love when we like correspond with each other. Yeah. Not like matching fits. Not like we're both wearing the same jumpsuit. That can be a little cheese.
But for some occasions.
If we're like
Christmas pajamas.
That or like if we're going on a 5K, sure.
Okay.
Matching like sweatsuit. But like
just a random walk to the mall. No.
Yeah, but like when we go to church and our like fits correspond off each other, like that's tough.
Okay, so you like same color, not same style necessarily.
Yeah, like same colorway.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the last one, early mornings or late nights?
Late nights, for sure.
Me too. I'm a late night person, but I am pretty okay. Well, no, now we've seen. I used to say I was an any time of day person. Like I'm good in the morning or at night. But as we've so experienced, I don't think I am a morning person based on recent events. Okay, so let's kind of get into the conversation of today. So like I was saying before, Christian has some great thoughts and ideas on relationships, especially for the dating scene people. Something I don't know if I ever told you. Someone told me that I wasn't, and she might be watching this. She was like, "How can you give marriage advice and you're not even married?" That's when I was saying stuff about being engaged. Like after we got engaged, I was making like
I could speak on that as well.
Yeah, you're about to speak on that. But I basically was making videos about like, like, oh, we're engaged. This is how we got here, and then like this is how I think a good relationship goes. So I think a good marriage will be. And she's been married for maybe 15 years. So she was like, why do you think you could talk about that? What do you think?
When I was giving my relationship advice on TikTok and it was blowing up and people were like relating to it, agreeing with it and everything, I was in some of the worst relationships of my life. So, I mean,
experience.
Right. So like, just because I hadn't necessarily experienced the most healthy relationship yet, or hadn't experienced like God-sanctioned marriage yet or anything like that, that doesn't mean that you don't have the knowledge of what it takes to get there, or that doesn't mean that you're not able to share the knowledge of what it takes to get there. Now, can you speak from experience, or should you be like, as a married woman, when you're not a married woman? No, you shouldn't say that. Or I shouldn't like come from the standpoint as from someone who already has it all together if I don't already have it all together. But if I'm already reading a guidebook, aka the Bible, or if I already have the knowledge of like what it takes to be successful and I'm just sharing that along the way as I'm trying to be successful as well, I don't think there's an issue with that.
Okay, it's a really good answer. So period. That's a clap back. Okay, so I wanted to go back to the question that I popped on before we went to the rapid fire. Why do you heavily promote marriage? Because I don't think, to my knowledge, now I think a lot of people aren't getting married. But before I really like thought about it, I thought a lot of people were getting married because of social media. Like I see like a lot of people posting their weddings and like their babies and their lives like that. But when I'm on TikTok, I guess it's less of a like relevant thing. Like people are like, why do I need to get married? I already live together, like all those kinds of things. So why do you promote it?
Because it's biblical. And I mean, as a Christian, I promote things that are biblical and things that are of God. So it's one of the purposes that God has for us. God means for man and woman to come together and form a relationship and come under holy marital covenant. He discusses that throughout the Bible. He discusses how to go about doing that throughout the Bible, how to do it correctly throughout the Bible. It's how he originated, or it's how he started the Bible with Adam and Eve, man and woman coming together, or Eve coming from his rib, I should say. So just all signs point to if a man and woman are to come together, the Bible never said anything about them coming together to be a boyfriend, them coming together to be roommates, them coming together to be, it describes them coming together to become married or become united. Okay. So that's why I promote it.
That's good. But today I think a lot of people are living together. They're not married, all that kind of stuff. So like, what would you say? Because I can be I grew up kind of a rebellious kind of individual. So like I know the mindset of those people that are
Oh,
like,
yeah.
well, it doesn't say in the Bible that you can't live together. Like, why do I have to get married right now? Like, why can't I just live with them, see how they live, and then like once I find that out, then I can decide if I want to get married to them or not.
Doesn't
like,
it say not to live together before getting
I
married?
don't know. I don't know if it says that.
Should we
look it up real quick?
look it up real quick?
Ask chat.
Let's argue from the standpoint that the Bible doesn't say anything about against living together before being married. The reason I would still argue against it, even if it doesn't mention that, is just because the temptation is there to do things premaritally. So like if I'm living with my girlfriend before we're married, and we do know that the Bible says that sex is supposed to be saved for marriage, even if the Bible mentions nothing about whether you're able to live together, it mentions you're not supposed to have sex, you're not supposed to do certain things with each other before marriage. And because of that, like, I think living together is just an extra layer of temptation that you're packing onto yourself, if that makes sense. Because now you're living together, you're seeing this person wake up in the morning, you're likely sharing a bed with the person, you're seeing them go to sleep at night, you're seeing them come out the shower, you're seeing them go into the shower, you're seeing them put lotion on, all that stuff. So like, but I'm saying like the temptation is there, and you're going to stop yourself from all that when it's like you could just wait.
Exactly. I mean, I agree, but I think that a lot of people don't think sexual sin is like their problem. You know what I mean? Like I've heard people be like, oh, well, I'm not convicted of that. So like, I don't feel like that's my problem. Like I still love God, like what I'm saying. But ChatGPT says that there's nothing actually said about specifically like not living together. But like you were saying, it's literally about sex before marriage. Like that's likely going to happen. Living together usually implies sexual access. The Bible prioritizes covenant over convenience. So like you just living together is very convenient for you, especially people that do it for financial reasons or like we'll save money and da-da-da-da. Like that's all good. You might, but also like that's convenient, and God is all about like sacrificing things for your faith.
And also maybe you can speak more on this because like I guess it would be more from a woman's standpoint, but like from a guy's perspective, if you already are my living girlfriend, you already do all the like perks of being my wife and do all those things. What's really propelling me, or really like what's gonna
make me want to marry you?
Right. What's making me want to spend thousands on a ring? What's making me want to really seal the deal? And you're already like
exactly. Oh, that brings me back. So I've been a fan of Christian for some years. Okay, like I used to watch his videos. They used to pop up on my feed all the time. He had a video, or you had a video one time where you said that basically, if you're dating, or we're in the talking stage, we should be doing stuff or acting as in a way that would make me want to date you exclusively.
Yeah.
Do you remember this video?
Yeah.
So what if someone said, well, what about, and same thing with like, if I'm dating you and we're exclusive, you should make me want to think that I should marry you. So like, we should be acting in a way that shows me that you'll be a good wife, basically.
So like that statement is a double-edged sword, because saying like before marriage, you should act as a wife would, people could take that and run with it and be like, okay, so I should be having sex with the person then, right? No, that's not what that means. Biblically, that's not what that means. So like, that basically means you should be showing the loving natures of a wife, the caring nature of a wife, the nurturing nature of a wife, the supportive nature of a wife, and show that you have those qualities to be a wife before becoming a wife. It's the same thing with anything. I can't walk into a hospital and be like, okay, guys, sign me up to be a surgeon. I have to have already shown my qualifications and shown that I can like perform that task and perform that duty and that job.
It's like trying to do the thing before actually getting the prep for it. Like, cause that is a really good example, because if I go into a surgery on a surgery room or whatever, what's it called? Operation table.
Yeah.
And I just start cutting this person open because I just like, I want to be a doctor. So
operation, like, you just playing operation at that point. You don't even have
any of the skills. That's a really good analogy or metaphor, whatever you want to call it. Because I think that is so much of the issue. Do you think that when you post videos, what do you think is your goal, like, for the viewer? Because, like, people will be like, oh, okay, like, that's good for him. Like,
yeah. So at this point, my top priority is from a Christian standpoint. So my top priority is really just bringing people to the kingdom in the most biblical way I can. And that's not Old Testament, of course. That's like New Testament based and based off love and grace of Jesus. But with that, I also understand that there are like rules and things like that we're supposed to follow. And not just like rules and things that we follow to get into heaven, but rules that we follow based off how much we love Jesus and how much we love God. Yeah. So I would say that my goal now is more so to point people in that direction and just kind of give perspective from that standpoint.
Have you always been, and I'm kind of going to ask questions to you like I don't know your answers already. So have you always been someone that was this kind of deep in your faith, or did it get to a point where you were like, oh no, like I need to?
No, if you look at my early videos, I was cussing online and everything. Yeah, like for real. Yeah. Like I saw one of my old videos the other day and like.
Were you appalled?
I wasn't appalled because I'm not on there just being like crazy and raunchy or nothing.
I don't think you ever were.
But like, I was like, oh, like it just took me aback that I was just openly cursing. I was like, oh, because I just don't really, it's not really in my vernacular like that anymore.
What about your like relationship content? Because I think like sometimes people have views like a good view of relationships, like even based on a worldly perspective, like, oh, you should treat your woman right, you should buy nice things, you should know what she likes. Like it's that view versus like the husband kind of title in the Bible where it's like you should be protecting this woman, she should submit to you because you have like something worth submitting to. Like, is there a different level when it comes to like the relational kind of what is it? Like relational what is the word? Relational criteria that people should go by. Like, is it similar to the world's? Guys, I'm saying before your videos, I feel like the relationship videos were more like, oh yeah, like treat your woman right. This is how you should. But now it's more.
Sure. Like for sure. I would say that before my videos were way more feeling and emotion based. Right now they're a lot more spiritual based. So like it's based in spirituality and I'm going to do it with kindness. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this like anything I say online to hurt anybody's feelings, to like tell anyone you're going to hell if you don't do or anything of that nature, but it's spiritual. So it's like, this is what it is. I say it with love, but like, because I love you and because I want you to enter the kingdom with me, because I want you to be my brother, my sister, because I love you like that. And I just want you to see God like I do, like when we leave this earth. It's like, here's the information I got. Here's based off reading the Bible, based off my own life, based off my relationship with God. This is what I got. And this is what I have for you. Before it was like, okay.
This is how I was hurt, so this is what.
This is how I was hurt. This is how I know relationships are supposed to go. And this is how I know if a relationship went this way, it would feel good. Now it's like, this is how God says to go about a relationship, whether you like it or not.
Yeah. Like, that's crazy.
Whether you like it or not, it's going to be good for you at the end of the day. So I would say my content now is more like medicine.
More biblical based.
Right. Before it was more like candy. It was sweet and it was cool and like it felt good. To be honest, I looked at the logistics of my content. A lot of my demographics for like who was viewing my content, who was liking it, sharing it and all that. It was a lot of middle-aged white women in like middle America, for real.
Wow.
Because it's just feel-good content.
Wow.
But now it's like, nah, this is like,
it's a little hard to swallow. Yeah. Like, that's so interesting.
My followers are taking a huge dip since like switching from relationships to spiritual. But you know that.
That's so crazy because I think like a lot of people, like even I'm thinking of myself and how I used to view relationships and how they could be better. It's like, yeah, this is how I've been hurt. So I know that you're not supposed to do this. So like, don't do this if you want to keep your girl, like kind of thing. But I think when you're talking to like the worldly person versus like the Christian, like when we were in Bible study the other day and we were talking about, I forget what the topic was in terms of relationships, but basically the answers that someone was giving was like, yeah, like, cause why would I, da-da-da. And it's like, yeah, but the Bible says. Like, I think we were talking, was it loyalty versus love or something like that?
Yeah.
And, or that might have been the other Bible study before that. But basically, if you ask the question, like, what's more important, loyalty or love? And they're like, well, obviously loyalty. But then I'm like, but if you're talking about the love in the Bible, then it's love because it's going to come with the loyalty part. But when people think worldly, it's like, yeah, what's going to make me feel good? How did you hurt me? What did you do me wrong? So now I can do better in the next time. But I think if people read the Bible more, then they will probably have a way better time in relationships and in life in general.
And that's really like the confusing part. Like, and I think that like that word right there, love, is really the difference between like the love that I was showing in my content before is different from the love now. Before it was like
love is a feeling versus an action.
Yeah, it was like love is a feeling, love everybody. And with love everybody, it's like
let them do whatever.
Let them do whatever. You shouldn't judge anyone, and you still shouldn't necessarily judge anyone. But it wasn't any correction necessarily. It was more so like, here's what you should do to show everybody love. Cool. But like it wasn't like the love of Jesus. And the love of Jesus isn't always just like, you're good, you're cool, everybody's good, and everyone gather around me and let's all kumbaya. Yeah. It was like, okay, you're
Ghosting
cool.
no more.
You're cool, but stop.
Yeah. No, literally.
No, I love you, but you're not doing that right.
Yeah. So, and honestly, I think that knowing Christian and being married to him, you kind of have mastered that in a way, like where you'll give a correction so kindly that like it doesn't feel too bad. You know what I mean? Like, I think like how Jesus was like, oh yeah, like, you know, you're a prostitute. You have 7 husbands, and you know, it's going to be okay. Just don't do that no more. You know, like, but I think so much of the world now, or so much of the Christian influencer world is so like, you're a prostitute, you have 7 husbands and you're terrible. But there's no like pat on the back and being like, but just stop. Okay. And I think that's where that's why I like your content so much.
I actually don't like doing like correction and stuff. Like it gives me high anxiety, to be quite honest.
Yeah, if he does correct you, it's because he feels like maybe God's telling you to tell the person. But like it comes, and I can see it on your face sometimes. You're like, I don't want to tell you this, but or like I see this video you posted. You have to take it down. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, okay. But yeah, so I think that's good that your content has evolved, basically. And I think that a lot of people kind of stay in one way because they probably never grow. But we've seen you grow along with your content. What do you think are 3 things that every person, maybe all young adults, need before they get into a committed relationship or marriage? Just 3. It doesn't have to be like the 3 things, but just 3 things that they might need.
Okay. That's a lot less pressure.
These 3 things are the only 3 things.
Right. I was like, oh, I got to narrow it down.
No.
Okay. 3 things like a young person needs before a relationship.
Like a young adult. Or just anyone, I guess. Let's not narrow it to young adults. Because some teenagers think they should get married tomorrow. So
you should be, well, first of all, and like, you should be grounded in yourself. And I know that sounds like self-love and all that stuff. No. I mean, like, you should know who you are. You shouldn't be still trying to find yourself. Like, you shouldn't be still trying to find your crowd, find your, like, what you're going to be a part of, what type of people you're going to roll with. Like, you should kind of be grounded in who you are. So, okay, I'm a quiet person. I'm into anime. I'm an athlete. I'm into working out all the time, or I'm into fitness. I'm a scholar. I'm into reading books all the time. But you should really be grounded and basically know who you are as a person and the things that you're into. And you should also have your own boundaries set up. So, okay, I'm a more quiet person. And really, I know I don't do well around extremely loud people. And that's not me talking about myself. That's just an example. Or, hey, I'm a person who likes to go out a lot. And I don't need a person who goes out all the time. But I know one of my like things is I can't have a person who's just a hermit and stays in all the time. So these are things that like being grounded in yourself and just knowing who you are as a person before you start like finding your person for dating or looking for your person to marry, you should know who you're looking for, what you're looking for. That's
a good one. And I'm going to pause you on that. So 1, you should be grounded, know yourself. When you said you should know like the type of person you like and what you like about the person that you're gonna be with.
Know
all
what
that
you're
kind of
into.
stuff.
Know what.
I
All that.
remember watching one of your videos. This is before. I think it was before we started dating. Oh my gosh!
Really?
Like I've seen so many of your videos. I've probably been following him since like 2020, 2021. That's crazy. But I remember he posted a video basically saying that whoever he's with needs to know that like y'all's kids should have good fun experiences, go to a pumpkin patch, go to do fun things. Because he was like, I had a really good childhood. So like I want my kids to experience a good childhood. And I remember thinking like, once we started dating, I'm like, okay, we have to do fun things. Because I remember he was like, make me wear some matching pajamas. I don't know.
We do a lot of fun things.
But like, I remember seeing that video and being like, okay, if I don't think I want my kids to have a fun childhood, or like I didn't grow up doing those things, I don't find myself wanting to do them, that was like, maybe I shouldn't date this person. You know what I mean? But it's like knowing stuff like that. Like if your person loves working out and you absolutely hate the gym, you don't ever want to work out, you don't ever want to do one push-up with them, if they ask you to do a sit-up next to them one time, you're gonna be like, then maybe that's not the person for you, because you're not gonna do anything with that person. Even if you don't want to, you're not even gonna put yourself forth to like try it out or whatever the case. So that's a good point. What's another one?
Is this gender neutral, or is this like
it can
for
be
a young
either
man
or
a young woman?
It can be either or. You can do both. One for each.
Always got to come from a biblical standpoint. I would say you should have a sense of direction. Now, as a Christian and from a biblical standpoint, for me, that sense of direction is God. So for me, it's a relationship with God and a relationship with Jesus. But for any man on this planet, you should have a sense of direction. If you don't have a sense of direction, then you have nowhere that you're going. And if you have nowhere you're going, how are you going to lead somewhere else? Nowhere.
And he asked me, I remember on the phone one time, you asked me when we were dating, you were like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I was like, oh. And I was like, where do you see yourself?
I was like, oh.
No, but that's good. Like knowing where you're headed kind of thing.
Yeah. You should like know where you want to go, because I mean, the point of partnering with someone is taking a person with you, especially from the man's standpoint, if we're talking biblically. So if you're going absolutely nowhere, then you're just
dragging somebody to nowhere man's land. No
basically.
man's land.
Yeah.
Okay, so know where you're going, be grounded, know what you like, know what you don't like.
I'm going to say reflection and healing from whatever was from before, be that childhood, be that past relationships before your actual marriage partner, be that just whatever baggage you have from before. And I'm not saying you need to be completely healed and over it, but you need to know how to manage it at the very least. So say you have trust issues. If you're going to get in a relationship with a person, that requires trust between two people. So you can't just bring your baggage and be like, I have trust issues, so you just need to deal with that. No, you need to know how to manage that between the two of you, and the two of you need to come together and co-manage that.
That's good.
So yeah, I would just say healing and reflection from where you're coming from and from any potential baggage that you may be bringing in.
So what do you think happens when people don't deal with the healing part, or they just like keep going into new relationships?
Splitsville. Yeah. Splitsville, and it don't work out. You're not healing from anything. If you don't reflect on anything, you don't heal from anything. If you don't heal from anything, then you're not progressing. How can I if I keep on getting injuries and I never heal from any of them, how do I expect to get back out on the field or back out on the track? So it's like same thing with relationships. If I just keep on dealing with hurt, or I keep on getting hurt from different women or different men from a woman's standpoint, then but I'm not healing from it. I'm not reflecting on how I could change things, how I could go about things differently, so where I'm not getting the same outcome over and over again. Definition of insanity. Then it's basically a recipe for disaster. You're just continuing to add dirt to an already dirty pot.
Yeah, and I think that goes on so much in general, but I wouldn't say in our generation, but I think that's always been the case, where people just think that the next person's going to heal them because they're going to feel happier in the new situation. And I think people that, like me, I've always enjoyed change and newness, but not necessarily in a relationship. But I think a lot of people who are like that, I just want a new person. I just want a new toy, basically. This new thing that you've gotten me, now I feel so happy with it. And then 2 weeks from now, I'm annoyed by it or tired of it. And you always want to move on to the next thing. Just because somebody hurts you, and say we're in a marriage now, and we get in an argument or something, I think when we were dating and we would get in an argument, I'd be like, okay, you have the option to leave me. And I would get so nervous about that.
Yeah,
but I
they
think
told me
now
about
that
that.
we're in a marriage, I'm like, okay, even if we get in an argument, it's going to be
You
okay.
said this ain't going
He's not
nowhere.
going to leave. But I think
She
so
said
many
this
people.
ain't going nowhere. I could, no.
I could do anything.
Right.
But I think like so many marriages end because like people are just like, you did the thing that I never wanted you to do. And cheating is out the question, but like any other thing, like
different.
you said the thing or you just got on my nerves so bad so many times in a row that like I'm done with you completely. Like I just think so many people want what they want when they want it, and when they don't get it or over time they don't get what they wanted all the time, then like that's when people leave.
Yeah. And I think like the reason I couple healing and reflection together is because I think reflection comes from within. And one of the things you touched on or that I heard you say was like a lot of people think like they'll go to the next person will heal them.
Mm-hmm.
And I highly like disagree with that premise. So I don't think a person can heal you. Even if, let's say you're the most like toxic, broken person, you've dealt with mad, like horrible relationships, and then you get with a man who's extremely healthy. He's a psychologist. Like this man's a marriage counselor. He knows everything, like what to do right and everything. Until like he could show you all the right ways and everything, he still can't heal you. And you could look at everything that he's doing. You could get the revelation from everything he's going to be like, oh, I need to do some healing within. But it still takes you having that revelation. Otherwise, it's just going to shock you and scare you.
That's true. And it's funny because I just recently watched a podcast where this woman was being interviewed about how she was married to a pastor and she had been divorced one time before and she ended up getting divorced again from the pastor because he cheated on her with a whole bunch of women or something like that. But like even after he cheated on her, like he denied it, then said she was a liar, then posted about her and stuff. And she was very honoring the way she went about it because they were like famous pastors and stuff. And like even to this day, he's like, don't ever believe her. He's being mean about it and all that kind of stuff. But it's like she said, like, because he was a pastor, I kind of didn't think this is how it was going to go. But just because someone has a title of something that's good doesn't mean that they are good because it's just their job. Some people is
I've
literally
explained
just
that
their
multiple
job.
times online.
Like a psychologist being a good boyfriend or husband, not necessarily the case.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Why don't people who are psychologists and therapists, like, why can't you be a good relational partner?
It's actually, it's like a phenomenon amongst psychologists and amongst a lot of psychology majors, just that I've like observed, where a lot of people who major in psychology tend to have a lot of issues or a lot of traumas themselves. But the problem is a lot of people who have traumas and issues themselves that they haven't worked out or that they haven't sought therapy for, they'll become a psychology major or become a professional psychologist themselves and think they don't need it anymore because they're a professional themselves. Just because
helping other people.
Right, because you're able to have the knowledge and share the knowledge to other people doesn't mean you're retaining it for yourself and that you're actually applying it to your own life. And that tends to be an issue with a lot of psychologists. I've seen where a lot of psychologists are giving advice that's actually toxic and it's stemming from their own life.
That's crazy. Yeah, because I mean, one, these people are regular people, but also sometimes people can't separate their job from their life, especially if it's overlapping. Like I've seen teachers go off on kids, and me maybe being one of them, just because they were having a bad day. Like, you know what I mean? It's like I'm having a bad day, so don't mess with me today. It's like, wait, your job is to teach me. It doesn't matter if you're having a bad day or not. Like, you know, or like I've seen a teacher kind of go off on this kid who was a male kid. And she was, I just hate men. I can't deal with men. It's like, this is a boy.
That's weird.
But and why, like, you know, really it's like, why are you getting upset at a kid? And your reasoning is because you can't stand men. Now you have a personal problem.
That's kind of scarily weird. That means you're looking at this boy as a man.
Exactly. And he was a senior, but
somebody
still, it's a child. Exactly. Yeah.
Like,
but I think so many people let especially those humanity kind of jobs, like they let their personal life get so intertwined. And it can turn out very bad. But anyways, back to relationships, which I think
I'm kind of scared for the student.
He's graduated now.
Okay. Whatever.
No, but yeah, like she was very, anyways. So now that you're married to me.
I am.
It's such a great time, right? What do you think is one thing that you've learned about marriage in the last, well, we've been married for like 4 or 5 months. What is one thing you think you've learned about yourself or about marriage?
I'm going to say about marriage in general, it has a lot of bad stigma and a lot of bad press around it. And
heavy.
That's another reason that I said I'm a huge promoter of marriage, especially online now. I made quite a few videos just about how much I'm enjoying life or married life and just
with my wife.
Yeah. Because like it just has such a bad rap and I'm like, y'all must be married to people y'all really don't like or y'all just must be having a really bad time because I mean, I'm not.
Right, I'm not either. It's funny because maybe like the first month of us being married, I remember I saw my grandmother for the first time, like since the wedding or something. And she was like, oh my gosh, you're glowing. You look good. Marriage looks good on you, right? And she was so happy for me. And she said, like, after she said that, she was like, because that's not everybody's story. When you see some people, like, she was like, when you see some people after they've got married, even in a month in or 2 months in, they look tired, dragged down, terrible. And it's just like,
it's just the attitude of even at the yesterday at the leadership conference, folks stopping me. You still
but the thing
you still liking it? Yes.
He also made a video one time where it's like, if I'm a stranger, not a stranger, but a church member asking you that, what makes me think you're gonna tell me? A random person passing by, like,
no, here's what they do, right? You ready? Here's what they do. So you'll be talking to like someone's wife, and then the husband will dap me up and pull me in close, and they'll be like, "Hey, how you doing? You still liking it? You still enjoying it? Is she still all right?" And I'll be like, and I'm like, yeah, man.
What if you were like, no, please go pray with me right now?
What if I broke down? Yeah, I'll be like, yeah, man. I'll be like, yeah, man, I'm loving it. I'm having a great time. And they'll be like, all right, brother, you sure? You hanging in there? And I'm like, oh, I'm hanging tough. And they're like, all right, brother.
Do they say like, here's my number and email just in case?
No, that's what they
like what? But I think, yeah, it's
but like when I don't give them the right answer, they'll be like, okay, bro, just keep on.
Yeah, it's weird. So that's really not a what is it? That's not a thing on, or a bad thing on like the new people that need to start thinking about marriage or whatever. It's on the people that have been married. Why are y'all doing that?
It is so weird.
Like y'all, like that now y'all have a problem because it's like, I don't understand why, if you're in a bad marriage or you're not happily married, just maybe you should get counseling on that before you go like, tarnishing stuff before it even starts. Like, I think that's insane. But I also watched a sermon today that basically the preacher was saying that, people who plant dysfunction or like plant seeds or scatter seeds of dysfunction. I truly do believe that's like a spiritual thing. That's one of God's like most hated things about people. Yeah. It says in Proverbs, like these are the things he hates. And one of them is to like start discord or start any kind of things like that. Because say like I was crazy or I was off or something and I heard someone say that to him and I'm like, you're not, what's wrong? Why they even ask you that? Because now you're starting a problem in our marriage and that's crazy. But I think like you planting a seed like that, like, oh, how is it? Even your tone in your face, like, it's just not gonna help.
That's really what it is. Like, that's really what it is. Cause I mean, you can always ask me, like, how's it going? You still enjoying married life or anything like that? It's really the tone and the faces that are always made. They're just like, hey, you hanging in there? Right.
Or like, it's gonna be all right. But
like, and like hanging in there makes it sound like there's something I'm struggling through. This is not a struggle.
And how about not asking that question straight away, but maybe being like, hey, you guys want to grab dinner one day? Or like,
that's cool
start having some date nights or whatever so we can like actually get to know you just in case we are having any issues. Maybe we'll talk to you about it. But like, if we don't even know you randomly pulling me up one day, it's not going to help. And I also think like we hang out with some couples sometimes. And I think when we do, we get to have good conversations about like, any arguments we might have had or like different conversations, the way we handle conflict, like we're able to have those bounce ideas.
We're not just talking to any couple about.
Oh, like, no. Like our friends. But I think like people.
And that's after it's already like situated and stuff.
No. No. I wouldn't say like that. I'm just saying like you talk to people you trust. Like you hang out and divulge good and bad information with people you trust. Like not just random people pulling you up and dapping you up and whispering in your ear. That's weird. But yeah, so I think like
I'd be like, bro, I don't even know your name. But it's so hard at home.
You're a rare case in terms of like posting about marriage and relationships in such a positive light.
Yeah, I don't think it has enough good press.
Exactly. And I think
it has TikTokers. There's TikTok and Instagram marriages. Don't get me wrong. So you got like TikTok and Instagram couples who like, they're playful online and everything, and you see the like, the voiceovers and the goofy stuff, and that's fine and dandy. And you see, oh, they're so in love. That's one of my favorite like influencer couples. Cool. But I think it's enough. I don't think marriage has enough good press in the sense of people actually describing what like a godly based marriage is, or like what a Christian based marriage is, what a healthy marriage is, or what like it looks like, what some of the things y'all may go through is, or just how much you're enjoying it.
What do you think is one of the healthiest practices that we have in our marriage? That keeps our marriage nice and healthy. And what's the other word people used to say? Not hefty. Hardy.
Huh?
What keeps our marriage healthy? Like, what's one thing?
One thing?
Doesn't have to be the thing.
My mind's going other places.
You can go that place.
No.
Well, I'll say for him, maybe what he's thinking, like having a good sexual intimacy level high.
Yeah. I think, what would the word be? I think just chemistry.
Okay.
That's a good umbrella word that covers that as well. Yes.
That's a good word too. Yeah, I think so. Because I think I make you laugh. You make me laugh.
Yeah.
You're really funny.
I think our chemistry is really high.
And people do say like, laugh a lot. Make sure you laugh a lot. Because it's going to get... I'm like, okay. But I think we do laugh a lot, which I think we already did that in dating. So like, it's fine. But I think that sometimes when you hop into a marriage, you don't... Not hop in, but like when you go into a marriage, if you don't have good examples, then you do need to hear advice from people like all the time. Like, oh, you don't know this is going to happen and this is going to happen.
Yeah.
But if you've seen good examples of it.
I think it's just really the tone behind it. If it's in like advisory tone and it's wise counsel from people who have already been in marriages for X amount of years, and they're saying, hey, here are some of the pitfalls to look out for if you want to still stay in and keep a healthy marriage, that's totally acceptable. Actually, please give us that. But it's more of a thing when it's like, oh, watch out for when she does this. It's like, okay, you're coming at us from a standpoint of bitterness.
Right. And your personal pangs with like your guy.
We don't want that.
Because cool. I think I've even heard people like say stuff about like, oh, my husband has not cooked a day in my life. And it's just like, oh yeah, Christian likes cooking. Sometimes he cooks. Like, and they're like, what? Oh my gosh, you're so lucky. Oh my God. And I'm like, yeah. But I think that's like our thing. You know, every marriage has like their thing, the thing the husband does really well and the thing the wife does really well. And every marriage is not the same. And I think people need to know that too, which makes like your video so relatable because you're not talking about this specific thing that we do, just what makes a marriage or a relationship good in general. Because I think once you start getting personal, like, because my wife does my laundry and it's the best, like, your wife needs to do your laundry. Because if you don't, it's just like...
You can't get into specifics because my life doesn't look like yours.
Yeah. And then I'll say, like, I've made a video saying, like, this is what I like about my husband, not what I like about husbands, you know? So
now, there are, like...
general things.
Yeah, there are general things, like husband should provide, husband should... or wife should be able to
keep a home.
Right, keep a home, things of that nature, sure. But like as far as like your wife should be able to do these specific tasks, these specific ways, or else she's not a good wife, it's like, okay.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Okay, so what do you think, since you are on social media, what are your favorite, most enjoyable types of videos to make?
Oh, to make?
Like topic-wise or style-wise?
I would say what I make the most, just because like it's easiest to pump out, is like takes on things. So, say it's a take about something going on in the church or something I see in the church, culture, or just a take on like something religious or Okay. Like that's easiest to pump out.
He gives really good takes.
Yeah.
Hot takes.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. What do you think?
But I would say what's most fun to pump out or what's most fun to make It's probably skits.
Okay. Yeah. I keep telling him he needs to make new skits now. Because those are another thing that went viral. I remember stalking you, once we started dating.
Skits is what popped it off, the relationship.
Yes,
skits.
And he had a skit that went viral to the point where it became a sound that people were making videos to. And it was basically, used to make content about like what happens in a man's head once he finds like a good person or like a good girl to date or whatever.
We got another one, bro.
Oh, she's
another
like really
girl.
nice, and then in your head you're like,
a new one.
But she's probably texting other guys. Or
she gonna do me like the last girl did me.
Toxic thoughts that like a college age young adult or a young man might think like while he's in the dating pool or just like in different situationships and just going through life.
So, and it was like, so relatable. Like so relatable. Oh, she's a great person. Oh, she's doing everything right. But in the back of your head, you're just like, oh, she's probably not. Like, which I think you're saying it might come from like a hurt place or like something you've experienced in the past. But I will say that like, even like some people bleed on the internet in terms of like just like, oh, I'm so hurt still. And it's just like versus finding like the lesson in your hurt, which I think you've done more than just bleeding. Like it's not like, oh, I'm just hurt. Oh, like look at me. It's like, oh no, like
you don't want to look hurt on the internet. That's crazy.
Like here's the lesson behind it.
I've been very hurt on the internet, but I'm never gonna look it.
Yeah. What? But I think like some people miss that part, and I think that's why your videos have done so well in that area because people see relation. They don't see like, oh gosh, she is having a hard time. It's like, no, I've been there, bro. And like, that's what happens.
He is having a rough go of it.
Yeah, but I think honestly,
I'll go to the gym and do that.
Something that I just thought of, you could literally write a book on like, like talking, dating, relationships, and marriage based on your TikToks. Because it's been such a trajectory in terms of how you know what I mean? Like you could just go and see like old video to now what a whole scope of dating and relationships looks like and see like dating multiple people. Because you're in talking stages.
That's wild. I never thought about that.
Oh yeah, and I just thought of it just now. But like crazy. You could literally because you've gone through every stage of relationships in over the span of 5 years since you've had TikTok. When was your first TikTok? What year?
2020.
Yeah, like 2020 to 2025. 5 years. Your book could be called
2020.
5 years of TikTok or something like that. Like 5 years of dating. Yeah, and it's funny because I think. Mine wasn't on social media, but I think I was in the same kind of like path. And I think a lot of people... We walked
a very similar path.
Yeah.
Like before even connecting and coming together, we walked a very similar like line. Even before both of us getting saved, before both of us finding God, like just trouble that we were getting in, like it was just extremely similar. And then when we came together and shared stories, it was like, oh, I've been through something like just like that.
That's crazy. I remember when we would be on the phone, like when we were dating, and then I would tell a story and you'd be like, oh my gosh, that's crazy because something like just like that happened to me. Which I think, for us, it's like we're kind of tied together.
That was some of the funnest times, like those initial connections where it was just like, huh, you've been through that?
That's so funny. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot about that. But yeah, I think like when you're dating too, like you should be able to relate to your person in some way. Because I think, like we were talking about in Bible study too, like the McDonald's worker going for the CEO of whatever company. Not that that's impossible, but how much are y'all gonna relate on wherever you are in life because you're in such different, areas of life. Like and I think it's not impossible, but it could make things harder. And that could be in different arenas like race or age or whatever. Religion. Like if you're dating someone 20 years older than you, we'll see like what type of conversations and stuff y'all can have. But yeah.
Babe, pass me my medicine.
No, literally.
I'm sorry.
That's crazy. But I think we could go so many different ways in our conversation because we're married, so like we have great conversations all the time. But I kind of wanted to end it off with some more like little questions. Okay. And these are going to be more tied to around us.
That's the end of it?
Huh?
That's the end of it?
Do you not want it to be the end?
No, I'm done. Keep talking.
I mean,
It's up to you, baby.
I mean, these questions are probably going to bring about conversation too.
That's cool.
All right. You ready? Mm-hmm. Who apologizes first? Me or you?
Me. Yeah.
You said yeah like you won something.
No, it was like a realization. Like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, here. Okay, so I wanted to ask some questions too about the gentleman side of things, because that's another thing that I
Some
admired.
of those things are embedded.
What do you mean?
Like from childhood.
Okay, yeah. So I was going to ask you, like, where did that come from? Because that's like kind of outside. Yeah. That's outside of relationships. That's outside of dating. That's just like how to be a good person. So, like, where did you get that from?
That came from upbringing. Like, my mom just embedded a lot and instilled a lot of that in me. So, like, I used to get in trouble for just not showing certain things of, like, chivalry. So, for example, like, me and my mom would go on a walk and, like, say she was, like, say I was walking faster than her or slower than her. Like, she would stop and be like, why aren't you walking with me? And I'd be like, oh. And then, like, say I'm walking on the inside of the street, she would literally, like, take my arm and, like, carry me or, like, pull me to the outside and, like, be like, no, you're supposed to be on the outside. And then once she had, like, taught me that or told me that a couple times, it would be, why aren't you on the outside? Because it was supposed to be, like, I'm supposed to know that now.
Yeah, and it's so funny because when we first started dating, everything was a shocker to me. I remember, like, you might not have seen it because he doesn't get on Instagram as much as TikTok. But I remember posting, one time he came to pick me up for a date. I was so like
from your house?
Yes.
Okay.
I was so amazed by that. Like, yes, because I was in such a weird space in dating where it was like every dude kind of was trash. And I think that was like purposeful at this point because God was not going to let me see nobody but you at this point. But I think like I posted a video one day and was just like, this man is coming to my house to pick me up. And it came with a sound. Like, it was like a sound over it, and I put text over it. Like, this man's really coming to my house. But, like, it was just so different to me. And then, like, every time we walk, even to this day, like, we're on the street walking or, like, on a sidewalk, he's like, oh, yeah, like, moves me to the other side. Like, that type of stuff was so foreign to me. And those are the types of things that, like, I would just give up on that. You know what I mean? Like, in dating, like, that's just asking for too much.
So I think, like, just based off what you just said, I think that's how a lot of people go about dating. That's how a lot of people go about marriage. And that's how a lot of people, frankly, go about God and religion. So, like, a lot of people get hurt or they go so long not receiving how things are supposed to be. Like, you're not receiving, like, love like how Jesus showed love. You're not receiving good, healthy relationships to where you'll just start accepting, maybe I don't need all that chivalry and stuff. Or actually, maybe it's dumb. Maybe actually you don't need to be on the outside because maybe I should be on the outside so I can see now. And you start convincing yourself that you don't need this stuff. And actually, you're against this stuff now. And it's like, that's where it becomes backward, where you literally start convincing yourself that not only do you not need this stuff, but you don't even want this stuff now. Such as, I don't even want to get married. I don't want to, like, find a man. I don't want, like, you know what I'm saying?
And his tagline he used to put on those videos, he'd be like, grow up. It used to kill me. But I think, like, I would want, which, you know, to that point, I used to send his videos to people sometimes. Maybe a guy I was dating one time, I sent videos. Because I'm like, this is how you act, this is how you should be. But I think, like, so many people do need to grow up. That's why they're not where they want to be relationally. But also, I think a part of growing up is just maturing, but also, like, learning that it's not all about you. Like, there's so many things that you have to sacrifice. And even to the woman, too. Like, you can't just expect him to be this great person pulling to the side of the street and, like, doing all this stuff for you when you don't do anything to, like, be there for him or be, like, loving for that person or whatever, just expecting him to do whatever for you. And I think one thing I referenced the other day in Bible study was, like, if a dude says, I'll pay for your nails, and you're like, oh, you better pay for my nails, because if you don't, like that
kind of like how you receive, and
like
your
the
humility
entitlement
when you receive the, like, blessing or whatever.
Yeah, like a lot of women just expect this great dude to come along when they're not great, you know, and it's just like,
I see what you're saying.
Your attitude sucks. Why would God send you a man with such a kind spirit and like such a gentleman-like attitude and all this kind of stuff when you act like that? Like, that's not.
And that goes back to the reflection thing and, like, healing, because if you don't reflect and you haven't healed from your own baggage, you'll meet someone who's healthy and then mess it up yourself.
Exactly. And that person isn't for you because God will be like, you're not ready yet.
Yeah.
And I think, do you think when you were in the dating phase that like you could feel God saying you weren't ready for marriage, like based on how you were, or did you always think you were ready? You were just waiting for the other person to be ready.
That one, okay, yeah, that one. But that was a pride thing I had to get over and reflect on myself. So like I always like TikTok was a double-edged sword. So like I had like of course I was raised a certain way, like all that stuff. So I had knowledge of like how to treat a woman, things of that nature, that I was like relationship advice on TikTok. But then because of that, like it can become a pride thing. So it's like you think you know everything that you're talking about.
Yeah, because
like
you were kind of like a poster child for a good dude. You know what I mean?
And I like really became like people like older ladies would be like, "Oh, I shared this with my son," and like, yeah, that's what I mean. Like the demographic from like Middle America would be DMing me and be like, "Oh, I shared this with my son. I sent this to my nephew," and like,
yeah.
But you start to think like, "Oh, I know everything," and I had to
like I'm the best case for a good husband one day.
Almost. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I always.
You are.
Don't get me wrong, like I never like thought I was just like the bee's knees, like just over the top with it like that, but it was like clearly I know what I'm talking about because I have that relatability on TikTok. People have shown me that I know what I'm talking about. So I thought like, okay, I'm squared away. I'm just waiting for the lady to
get right.
Yeah, the lady I'm describing in these videos who matches the man I'm describing in these videos, I'm just waiting for her. But then I had to step away and be like, oh no, there's still things I need to work on, like for myself.
Okay, yeah.
So like I had to step back from that.
Even if you know what's good to do, that doesn't mean you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Because I think like being raised a certain way, like we've been raised really well, and I think that like, I mean, to me, I was raised right, but that didn't always follow the right raising. Like, you know, and it's like, yeah, like you lead a child to where they can go, and when they're older, they won't depart from it. Not quote unquote, that's supposed to be the law or the Bible. But like, I think so many people be like, why didn't you, who raised you? You know, like they ask that question. And it's like, just because you were raised right doesn't mean you're going to follow what you were told. And same with like knowing, like if you're a therapist or a psychologist or a pastor or whatever, just because you know the law or know what the right things to do in any situation is, doesn't mean you're going to do it. Especially because a lot of people don't, and speaking as like myself too, like, a lot of us don't do the right thing because we don't feel like it, or it's not going to make us feel good or whatever. Like going off on somebody because they annoyed you is going to feel much better in the moment than just like, okay.
Even with my own advice, like I could tell TikTok all day long, here's how to not be in a toxic relationship. But in my real life, a toxic relationship I know is like worldly entertaining. So.
And that's like for TikTokers, if you act like that, right? Say you make videos about being good, but then you do bad things. It's like you're separating the artist from the art.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, like just because that doesn't mean that's me.
I disagree with, which is another reason why like I can't differentiate the two.
Yeah. So you're all about like being about what you say.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. That's good. What is content that you refuse to post about? Like you will not post about that.
Oh, anything like within our sanctity or like within our fidelity. Like I'm not talking about that. Like I'm not going to disclose any of our personal business. I'm not going to disclose like something we fought about and haven't worked through and haven't had a discussion about talking about it openly. I'm not going to like discuss that. Anything regarding our sex life that like, especially if it's not in a praising manner or anything of that nature, no. And I never would have anything to say outside of a praising manner about you. That any content where like they're asking you to bash women, bash your wife, talk bad about your wife, joke about like
pranks.
I'm fine with playful pranks between me and you, but I wouldn't pull like, oh, that's another thing. Like, so even if me and you did like pranks and stuff, like I don't do cheating pranks.
I was gonna say
that's OD.
Yeah, those are wild. I don't know how people do that. I would not Like, that wouldn't land well. Okay?
I walk in and you in bed with a bunch of pillows, you can stay in there. Because why are you trying, like, what? Why are you
playing? Okay. Do you have a most impactful DM that you've ever received or comment?
Most impactful?
Or most touching? Like, wow, it's really making an impact on someone.
It always does mean something a bit to me when people, like, ask me actual questions seeking advice.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes, like, people will DM me and be like, hey, I figured you wouldn't see the comment, but I just wanted to ask this question, like, what do you feel about pride, or what do you feel about, like, not doing this? I think that's cool. Or I think that's cool, but I also, like, I think that's really heavy, because that means that people, like, see me as someone they can seek advice from, or someone to seek advice from. So, like
you're a sound voice for them.
Yeah, so I see that as really impactful, but also, like I said, it's really heavy.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you don't want to
say the wrong thing.
Yeah, you don't want to give someone the wrong advice or, like, steer them in the wrong direction. So.
Especially if you don't know their personal story fully.
Right,
like, I don't have all the context.
It'll be a random, like, it'll be user 469.
And I've heard people, like, respond to those people like, well, I don't have all context for this, so I can't really answer that. But, like, and maybe we should ask people, like, we can do, like, a little Q&A, have people, like, ask us questions.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
Yeah. So I wanted to get, like, a little fun culture just for funsies. Get your thoughts. I don't think you did a video on this. Your thoughts on, and this is kind of old now, so I feel like it's okay to talk about it on a platform like this. Okay. Your thoughts on the whole CHRHO and her seemingly bashing how she's not as happy in her marriage as she would have liked to be if she was on her own path.
Like, my thoughts on CHRHO?
Mm-hmm. And her interviews, like, that she's done.
CHRHO be wildin'. Openly. I would be so upset if I was Steph Curry. And, like,
I disagree. But
once again, like, every marriage is different. Every relationship is different. So I'm not going to speak on, like, what their agreements are, what their boundaries are between the two of them, Steph and Ayesha. Mm-hmm. I know for me personally, she done crossed a lot of boundaries that I personally got for you. Let's say that. Let's say that. There's a lot of boundaries I have for my wife that Ayesha has crossed in regards to Steph. Things like during an interview or a talk show or a panel, let a shirtless man ever walk in the room and you start playfully tugging at your ring like you want to take it off and deal with him, you can go deal with him. Like, just I'm big on, somebody online put it this way. They said, once you become married, you should become well-versed in husband and wife talk. And what that is anytime my wife comes up, I'm doing nothing but upping her. I'm not saying anything bad about her. I'm never going to say I thought my life would be pan out to be anything other than being married to my woman. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. That's just me. Like, when I was a teenager, I thought I'd be a rapper. Okay, but I'm not. So I ended up getting married to my woman, and that's the woman of my dreams. So
yeah. So we disagree a little bit on that, because I think, like, one, I wouldn't do the ring thing. Like, that's all crazy. I think the only thing that I don't mind her saying is that she saw her life a different way before she got married, and it turned out to be this way, and this is what it is. And she has said, like, she's been afforded a lot of opportunities by being married to her husband, which I think is a good thing to say. So I think that, like, people kind of take what she says out of context, but also they pick and choose what they hear her saying, be like, oh, she's wrong, or she's not grateful. And it's like a lot of people deal with what she's dealing with, which is that, like, their husband has kind of put them in a situation because of his job or whatever, that, like, you now have to kind of sacrifice some of your dreams to become his wife and to now have to live your dreams in a different way or at a different time, which I think is, like, okay to say, because it happens to a lot of people, especially, like, pastors' wives and all those kinds of people. Like, it's just like.
But that's another thing that I mean when it comes to, like, if she's going to express that, she needs to become well-versed in husband talk. So when you're expressing, hey, this is not necessarily how I envisioned my life before marriage, but this is how it turned out. And I am super blessed with what I've gotten. I've gotten an amazing husband that I love truly, that kids that I adore. That'd be different.
She said that. That's what she said. But that's what I'm saying. I think, I'm a fan of Ayesha Curry, so I watched all the interviews in full. I didn't look at clips, like I saw all of it. But I do agree that, like, you know, you do want to protect your person at the end of the day. And if you're not...
So what I'm, like, for example, if she was to say, like, like when she said, I just thought he would be a coach. Like, cool.
I thought he would be a coach. Period. I feel like that's
period?
No, it doesn't have to be period, but I'm saying, like, that I don't think thinking something and verbalizing your thoughts is a bad thing. He's now not a coach. So congratulations. You thought he was going to be a coach and he's not. Like, I don't think saying stuff, because she's not saying anything bad by saying that.
She's not saying anything bad, but she's also not saying anything good. And when speaking of your spouse, it should always be good. So for example, I didn't know that he would become the all-star player that he is. Honestly, when we first started dating, he had ambitions to be a coach, and that's I was cool with our life being that. However, he exceeded those expectations and took our lives boom, boom, boom. She never said none of that. She just said, I just thought this was going to be a coach.
Well, no, she said all that stuff before. She said she was saying how she's been afforded this life and all that stuff before that part. Like, but I'm saying, like, that's why stuff gets taken out of context.
Here's my thing. I should not have to watch every one of your interviews to understand that you love your husband. The fact that you are that clippable...
That's
about not the fact that Ayesha Curry is that clippable, and there's so many clips of her, like, not upping her husband and not, like, basically praising marriage and giving marriage good PR is where I'm like, okay, nah. No to Ayesha.
Yeah.
But you also got to understand the standpoint I'm coming from. I'm coming from a standpoint of, like, that's big for me is upping marriage and, like, promoting what healthy marriage looks like. So I would never make it look bad or make it look like it's something I didn't see my life as, something I regret, or something like if I could change anything, like, no.
And I also think, like, we're different in certain ways where I think that's a personal view or perspective of what she's saying, because I hear the same exact thing she's saying, but I don't care. I'm like, so she said that she was going to be a coach. Congratulations. I don't see that as, like, their marriage is looking bad or anything like that. Yeah. But I think we have different sensitivities, like you and I think that's what makes a great
And don't get me wrong. I don't think, like, their marriage necessarily looks bad, because, like, when they come together, I think, like, you know, they look like a power couple, this, that, and the third. I think it's when they just get Ayesha by herself and just get her talking, she does not.
But I'm also saying, because we talked about this with my brother and his wife, and basically, like, I'm like, that man is a whole billionaire, trillionaire. He don't care, and she's not making him look bad to him. He's letting her go on all these shows. She keeps doing it,
and
so
that's why I said, hey, different strokes for different folks. That's not my boundaries. That's his boundaries.
Right. So that's why I'm like, you know, but even without those boundaries, like, before I had all these conversations about Ayesha Curry, I still was like, when I first saw the interview, I was like, man, people are probably going to take this wrong. But I understand what she's saying, because I think a lot of women do understand, because a lot of women are put in that place where they submit to their husband without it being vice versa, and don't voice their dreams and opinions as heavily, to where the man, if he's trying to provide, a lot of the time his dreams come first, because it's like, okay, but I got to provide. So, like, if this dream is making me money, we're going to go for it, and we're going to take you along, and I'm going to, you know, support you. But I think sometimes if a woman, especially if she has kids and all that kind of stuff, and this can get real wheezy, because some people are like, what? Kids don't stop me. But it's like, some people, it does stop them, or it pauses some of their dreams. So I think, like, women have a different perspective where, yeah, like, sometimes men do get to do their thing while the woman is, like, bearing children, all that kind of stuff. So she has to take a back seat. And my husband being a coach versus him being the best NBA player in the world right now is two different things. Now she has to navigate that. So it's just like, okay, like, I don't mind you saying this stuff, because you probably haven't said anything. You have had 5 kids for this man. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I'm not saying she should bash him because she had 5 kids, but I think that she's allowed to voice her journey too. Yeah. You know? Because I think That's life. And she's famous. Anyone famous celebrities are gonna get misconstrued, clipped, and everybody who gets on interviews is clippable. This is clippable. You'll see many clips from this interview.
Yeah, baby, but just because anything's clippable don't mean that like
it has to be what she's saying.
Right.
But like that's what we're saying. I don't think what she's saying is bad.
Mm.
You do. So that's where we differ.
It's not even necessarily like one specific thing that she said that's like now mind you, the ring thing was terrible.
The ring thing, that's the action.
It's the accumulation, and when you put all the clips back to back to back, like some people on TikTok have came up with like compilation videos of her just, and I'm just like, yo, there should not, baby, if there was ever a compilation video of you
being like, I don't know why. Yeah, but some people
like
I'm saying,
like
some people are more media trained, but also their sensitivity to certain subjects is different. Like she's more free about what she's saying, and as a viewer, I agree with her in terms of her journey. I understand it, and a lot of times men are more sensitive to that because it's like, whoa, don't bash us, we look crazy, versus her being like, sir, you've been doing your thing, let me talk for once. Kind of thing. But I don't think that's her view in what she's saying. But I'm just saying like that can be how it comes off. So to round it out, that was really good. I'm glad we had that little conversation because it had me more ideas about like we could actually do a podcast. We could actually do like episodes. Right now. I know, but I'm saying we should do a podcast together where we talk about these things because we don't have the same ideas all the time. So I think that's a good conversation. The CHRHO Show. We are sponsored by CHRHO. Lisa.
We are CHRHO.
We are CHRHO, but that's a brand like right now because it's on two things. This was made by Lisa Satchel, and this hat was made by me. Well, I got it made from me.
For my birthday.
And he stylized it on that.
Put a cross on it.
Yeah. So to round it out here, I always like to ask a question toward the end. And my question for you is, what is one thing that you think people need to know in terms of like relationships, God? Like what's one takeaway for people just if they got nothing from this? What's one thing they could remember?
God-sanctioned healthy marriage is lovely. It is a very fun time. It may take like a bit to get there, just like in life, like you may have to do a bit of internal fixing and you may have to, of course, wait for God's timing for, him to present your person. But once you find your person, it is a marvelous time. As regarding marriage and regarding God, follow God, read your Bible, talk to him, pray every day. Remember, relationship with God is more important than the works that you do. Your works won't get you into heaven. Relationship with God will. The only reason that you do the works is because you love him so much. And doing the works just shows how much you do love him, but you're supposed to get to heaven through the love. And yeah.
Yay. Well, thank you so much. This has been Christian. I don't know if I can say your last name, but
I like your name.
Rhoyal?
And your middle name.
Thank you. Yes, this has been...
I always did. Even when I was like in high school and I like was a rapper and everything, I was like, it would be really cool to date her because if I blew up as a rapper and I dated her and her middle name was Lyric and I knew you could sing and I was like, and if she blew up for singing and we was like a duo and I was rapping and she was singing and her middle name was Lyric, that'd be so cool. But
And
you weren't pursuing singing though.
Okay, but we can still now make music together.
Oh.
You haven't asked me about that yet, our marriage.
Made music since?
You haven't, but you asked me to sing a little tag or something. But this has been Chef Jolie and CHRHO and Rhoyal on the Rhoyal Remix. We will see you next time. You never know, we may do more episodes together because I feel like we have good conversations and a great marriage. Love you guys. Good job, babe.
That's funny.